Hi, it's Paul Zabinski again. This is part two of my 31st anniversary. From watching the video I made, I came up with some questions on notes on paper, and that I missed. And short update here I intend, but part two then to the part one of my 31st anniversary. Uh, Well, I was thinking about it's more than a voice in your head when you have a schizophrenic thing, because you can hear like a song in your head from the radio, and that's like normal. Hearing something in your head, but it's normal, something like that, a song from the radio, that's normal to hear that, or just about hear somebody say something to you that you know very well, indeed, and truly, and you just about hear what they're going to say to you, and you tell them something, or have something next meeting with them or something, or just finish the meeting and think about the next one with someone, friend. Some things are normal to hear in your head, but so there's not just a voice in your head that you hear. It's a conversation that you hear of different people, voices talking in your head, different entities, different beings, different people entirely saying one type of thing to another. Is a schizophrenic symptom. That's the clear line. If you cross that, you've crossed into schizophrenia. So, and when I ended the last video, part of the first video, one of this video series, these two series, but or the never-ending series that goes on, but I said the statistics for a relapse were. I didn't look them up until after I said it's 31 years. Is an amazing time, and from what I looked up in the statistics of relapse, actually, were on my phone, and so I found them. Google smartphone. If they're still there, no, they're not there. Let me see if I can find how to word it. It triggers it again. How would I do it? Hey Google, what is the relapse rate for people with schizophrenia over their lifetime?
The estimated lifetime relapse rate for people with schizophrenia ranges broadly, often cited between 50% and 92%, with some studies suggesting a lifetime risk up to 70%.
Well, it told me more before. It 15. How did I ask the question? I forget. But I should have wrote that down. What the hell, didn't I write that down? It got past me twice or three times before I didn't get it written down. But so, well, if you do Google image search, which I can't do on the screen here, but there's a way to do it, but I don't know how. For it's also known as Pisa syndrome, like Leaning Tower of Pisa, the curvature of the spine from the back, from the antipsychotic drugs. Okay, lifetime use or specific combinations. So, if you do give a Google image search for Pisa syndrome, you'll see people with back but curvatures with like rods sticking out of their back where the surgery's been done on them to try to hold them into place when you're going to hunch forward anyway, and it's this rod's just going to stick out the middle of your back, sides of your back or whatever, each side, the way they do it. So these pictures look people who have been older in mental health treatment, the old drugs mainly did this to people, but and specific combinations of drugs too. But they don't know that when they put them out on the market until sometimes later. But maybe that's what happened to me. I don't know. But no. I saw that my research indicated they knew as early as 1972 and 1982. The next mark document I found on the government knew, FDA knew, and the APA, American Psychiatric Association, and NIH, National Institute of Health, Mental Health, National Institute of Health. So, and they didn't tell doctors to watch for gauge people for scoliosis. Like my left shoulder was obviously lower in most of the pictures you see of me, because it just curves in that direction, around in that direction. and it goes back that way, and so it's a very painful condition, and I'm working on that now with some new therapies involved in the Sit and Be Fit PBS series for people who are advanced muscle atrophy, which is you get from schizophrenic sedentary lifestyle. So I've been working on that, and I think I might have been overdoing it. So I'm taking it easier today because it was starting to hurt more than help. And it was helping at first, and it still is. I can move around a lot easier. I'm doing some of that stuff, but I had problems though from other ways, like cranking my neck at night, trying to sleep on a pillow, from turning your neck to over your shoulder all the way, and I don't want to do that now because it'll stress it even further. But it said not to do it too fast, so I'm just taking my time and trying to rehabilitate myself again, physically this time with the tardive dystonia. From antipsychotic drugs, in other words, tardive dystonia, scoliosis, curvature of spine, which pisses me off, really, frankly, but that they can get away with that, doing that. What else did I have here? My book is the third edition you're looking for in the grip of paranoid schizophrenia, not the first one that says no edition or second edition. It's the third edition one that you want if you're gonna look for my book. On what Paul put me through and what goes through your mind when you're psychotic. It's like a voice in the head. It's a conversation in your head, yeah, not a voice, just a voice. And the inner voice can be you. I mean, you get statistics. Pisa syndrome. Didn't know you didn't. Well, I can't read my writing. Even with these glasses, I thought I could. My writing is atrocious because of the antipsychotic drugs. And I can't even make notes and read them off a tablet. Better day agenda. Didn't know your better day agenda. This fucks this video up, I guess. This is even worth doing. I was just trying to make some more points that when you have schizophrenia, you have no idea what's going on with you. You react to things that you think are real, and they exist all around you in the real world, but they're superimposed on things by your mind, chemistry being out of whack, and just altered, fluctuated somehow naturally by your DNA being unnaturally prone to do that. Combination of your body system. So if you get the right medication, you're fine. The drug that's done me the most popular, the most best, has been risperidone in the first place, to stop at the end of that profuse psychosis. When it gets really profuse, like where I was, and the John Lennon personality, and we're getting on 8 minutes and a half here. So I want to keep this short, so the medication that did me well first was risperidone, and then the one they put in place is Abilify, which did me good cognitively, but it ruined my back though. The Abilify being added to it, the Abilify, the aripiprazole, aripiprazole, those combinations destroyed my back. So the one they took me off the aripiprazole was Vraylar. I don't know the generic name, but speak that language very well. But the Vraylar is cognitively, it's done me the most good added to the risperidone than anything else, as much as some other drugs that are necessary for side effects and other things of the illness. I make my way day by day taking my medication on time. I have to, or I'll have symptoms and problems and not be able to do it, and then I'll be in trouble again. And I haven't been in trouble in 31 years, or so it's going to be now, and since I got well. So I got out of trouble shortly after this, in coming January. and the trouble, they watched me for a year, or close to a year, all summer into the fall that year. But after January trial, they released me. But 1995. But and I've done good on my part. I take care of the medication. I've not been a problem. I keep myself well because I realized what I was doing when it was like on medication. It really worked like a charm for what was wrong, and I could clearly see the whole level playing field again. And I knew where I'd been with my mind, and it was psychotic, and I no longer was or am or have been. So that's the difference the whole thing made for me. And I hope I did share this for you, for somebody to help some people somewhere understand this. If you know anybody who's suffering with it, they don't understand until they get medicated. You can be kind and you can try to talk them into it, but ultimately they need medicated with something that agrees with them. If it doesn't agree with you, it's like murder and torture and bloody murder. I mean, if the drug doesn't agree with you, sometimes you get through it after a few days and they keep you on it, but you get through it. But other times it's malingering and it just debilitating at the same time. So it's a spin the wheel, the wheels spin the wheel, the gambling wheel. I mean, what drug is going to work for you? You have to try them trial and error basis. I've got 1133 again now. I got to cut this off. So it's my 31st anniversary, and I stay well all this time, and it's destroyed my back though in the process of keeping my commitment to stay well. It's not fair. That's all I'll say. Have a nice day.